Hi, I'm Kasia Bieszczad. I'm an associate professor in the Department of Psychology in the area of behavioral systems neuroscience. I'm happy to be here with you today to share with you a little bit about my laboratory research as a part of the Brain Health Institute. We are a learning and memory neuroscience lab, so we're very interested in the neural substrates, the brain substrates of how you learn and how you remember. And in particular, we're very interested in the role of the auditory system in your ability to learn and remember, and in particular the cortex, so the highest level of representation in your brain, and how that participates in your abilities to learn and remember all sorts of important sounds, including sounds that involve language abilities, communication abilities, and all the sort of emotive sounds that you don't often think about, but maybe take for granted that you are very in tune to. So our research focuses on really this tuning and retuning in of the auditory system to things that are important to you. We're particularly interested in neuroplasticity for all sorts of reasons, but specifically in the context of Alzheimer's disease and dementia. Why does an auditory neuroscientist like me have any interest or value in understanding Alzheimer's disease, dementia? And one of the key things that links these two fields of research together is a recent finding that was reported in The Lancet, which suggests that one of the most important modifiable risk factors for developing dementia in your later age is actually your ability to hear in your middle age. So what that might mean is that there could be a causal or a parallel process going on in the auditory system that actually can predict whether or not you'll decline cognitively and even towards dementia or Alzheimer's disease in your later life. Now, we don't fully understand the relationship between the auditory system, hearing, auditory memory and learning, and further or future dementia and cognitive decline, but that's exactly what my lab is studying. Through a combination of techniques that involve animal models that use mutations to genes that are in humans that provide early risk factors of dementia in humans, we can model those in animals like mice and rats and other animals and other models, and then ask about things related to the genetics, the physiology, brain activity, and behavioral changes that manifest as a function of having the Alzheimer's gene. And in my lab, what we try to do is connect their auditory abilities from, again, a behavioral, genetic, molecular, physiological level to see if we can create plausible biomarkers from the auditory system that could actually categorize our animals from being healthy or having the risk mutation. For example, recently my lab has started collecting emerging evidence that there's a tiny electrophysiological signal that we can get from the auditory system that actually has predictive value. It can predict, we can be able to use it to guess which one of our animals actually harbors a Alzheimer's disease risk gene. And that's particularly exciting because humans have a very similar physiological signal and a similar way to record it. Meaning that we could actually end up translating some of the research from our basic science lab in animals to potentially help humans in the clinic who are worried about their risk for Alzheimer's disease. So in a lab that's filled with wonderful undergraduate researchers, graduate student researchers, and postdoctoral researchers and technicians, we work together, again, across multiple levels to try and figure out whether and how genes, molecules, circuits, systems, and behaviors are linked together in ways that can explain disease processes like Alzheimer's disease and related dementias, and also how to use these different connections to understand normal learning processes, because at the end of the day, we are all interested in how to better enhance our cognitive lives.